I'd like to thank everybody for checking in with us. It is the 1911 along with the Undefeated podcast with Goose's Goats. And here in the building, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Diggs Boys. Clap it up. Clap it up. Diggs Boys is in the building. It's one of the best damn bourbons that you could ever go and drink. Solo Kev, what do you think about Diggs Boys, baby?
Man, Diggs Boys, like I said earlier, I mean, I was really impressed by it. Really, from the very first sip, it was real smooth, went down real nice. Pairs great with a nice cigar. Right now, I'm smoking the Monte Cristo, so it's like hand in hand, they're working together. So, I mean, it's one of the best bourbons I've tasted in a long time. Really proud of the guys, what they put together and brought to the market for us and everything.
Solo, I want everyone to put their hands together. We got two of the owners here, 2 out of 3. Mike and Ern, thank you so much. Diggs Boys is in the building. Mike, how did you come up with the whole concept of the Diggs Boys bourbon?
Well, back in 2020, me, Ern, and Howard was kind of sitting around trying to come up with an idea of how to get some more whiskey, because all 3 of us are avid whiskey drinkers and cigar smokers. And we were running short on our own personal supplies. Everybody remember the pandemic had started in 2020. And in Pennsylvania, all of the liquor stores was kind of shutting down. So your only option at that time was pretty much either drink what you had or go to another state to get some whiskey. Now, we kind of started, as Ern mentioned earlier, just having something for ourselves. And then, me being an entrepreneur was like, maybe we can sell this to some friends in the frat. So they can have some too. And that's pretty much how the idea kind of started. Then from there, I think a couple days later, and correct me if I'm wrong, we decided we can literally do this.
Yeah.
Like at first it was just kind of like an idea, something we was playing around with. We was like, we can really, really, really do this. And we just started from there. Every day, we just been eating at it piece by piece.
Now, Mike, let me ask you, from your days of IUP, shout out, is it the Hawks? Is it still the Hawks? It's the Bears?
Now.
It's the Hawks.
We went
But it wasn't the Hawks back in the
Bears, the Hawks.
Okay.
The Hawks now.
So from your IUP days of going up there, big shout out to Lambda Upside, LU, it's definitely in the building. Did you ever think that you would be an owner of a bourbon?
No, because I didn't even drink my first year.
Hey, what? What?
Wait a minute, wait.
You ain't making it none of the parties? You ain't drink?
I didn't drink. So my mother was an alcoholic, so I decided not to drink until later in my freshman year. I think it was like the summertime. That's when I really started drinking. So to go from there to now owning whiskey is amazing.
Wow,
That's a story. Yeah, that's a story.
Big Ern, man, thank you so much for being here. You're also an owner of the Diggs Boys, man. Please give us your information of how you guys get started. How'd you come up with the mix and the blend? How do you promote it? The whole 9.
So, again, as Mike mentioned, well, here's the truth. So it started with Mike and Howard, right? And Mike and Howard were a little bit under the weather, inebriated. So I get phone calls and they like, yo. I'm like,
they called you drunk?
Yeah. Yo.
Not the drunk text.
Yo, we making whiskey. You know how to make whiskey? Come over here and make. I'm like, because when I was in school, I was a biology major. So I've distilled alcohol.
You were
before.
What major?
A biology major.
Oh wow.
So I've distilled alcohol before, and I'm like, yo, what are you? Then the next day I come over, I throw that out, and then I come over and Mike's there, and he's like, yo, we really think about making this whiskey. It was good. I'm like, I'm with it. I mean, let's start putting the work in. Again, as Mike said, it's a throw around topic for like a week. Then I think one day we were just all together and we was just like, yo, let's really do this shit. You know what I'm saying? And then start sourcing, start finding. We started reaching out to contract distilleries, trying to figure out the game plan about how we was going to produce it. We had one place in place. Pandemic shut them down. They fell through. And for a normal person, that kind of would have killed your dreams, right? You're like, all right, I had some. But like, I will say this. So the way Mike's mind works, he kind of crazy because he's like a serial entrepreneur, right?
What's that mean? Break that down.
That's what Mike do. Mike just take own businesses. Like, I don't know how many businesses he owns at this point, but he owns a lot. He's a serial entrepreneur. So he started, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And then, his enthusiasm transfers to me and Howard. We started getting into it. And then we just found a way. So we found a company. I mean, they sent us some product. At first, we was like, some of the stuff they were sending. Then we started tasting more and more and more. Finally found a product that we actually adore. Because here's one thing we wanted to make sure we did. We wanted to make sure we had a quality product, right?
Right.
Like there's a lot of whiskeys out there. Like, and I've been more educated through this process because starting here, I was more of not an avid drinker of whiskeys and cerns. So I've learned a lot, right? I always tell my palate was two-tone, right? It was either trash or it was good, right? I didn't have like Mike would drink whiskeys and be like, oh, this got caramel notes and it got vanilla in it. I didn't have that. I was like, this is palatable and this is trash. That's really all I had. So the first couple things companies were sending us, I was like, I can't even drink this. You know what I'm saying? Again, we found something that we liked and said, yo, this is quality. 4-year-old bourbon mash bill consists of 71% corn, 24% rye, 5% malted barley, aged 4 years in American oak. It's a quality product. I will put, like, if we could do a taste test, I'll put our product up against everything you see top shelf.
Right.
And then we're a minority-owned business, right? So, like, when you look at the distilled spirits industry, like, there's not many, right? The big one everybody loves is Uncle Nearest, right? That's the go-to. But outside of that, I don't think anybody can really name, like, you don't know if they're black-owned, right? So, for us, it was also a labor of love, right? And then, so getting to the processing, we putting out surveys, trying to figure out what the name is going to be. The thing that binded us all was the fraternity, right? So, of course, that was front and foremost in a lot of our endeavors. That's how the name came about. We put the survey out, and the funny story. So when we put the survey out,
where'd y'all put the survey out to? Like social media?
So we had we selected like probably I think it was like 100 people or something like that, and we sent out like a list of names. Like here's the names, and I'm like, yo, like nobody's picking Diggs Boys, like
right.
That's true. And the thing when we did the survey, we wanted to make sure we sent it to people outside of fraternity because, like I said, we have a quality product, and while it's a labor of love for us in terms of the fraternity. We want everybody to enjoy this product, right? We want the masses that if you like whiskey, you're going to like Diggs Boys, right? So we sent it out to a bunch of people. I'm like, nobody's going to pick Diggs Boys. I think some of the other names like Bloomington. I don't know if Mike remember. It was like we had about 6 or 7 names.
Okay.
And Diggs Boys came back the overwhelming favorite. And this is not predominantly fraternity. This is just general people. Like,
and even though it doesn't matter, what came in second?
No. I think Bloomington came second. That's why I think I remember that.
Yeah.
So
Bloomington Bourbon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
So
It's one
Diggs Boys.
the town that are
So that's your second. That's gonna be your second one, Bloomington.
maybe.
Yeah.
So and I mean we put together our game plan. We were very strategic about it. Like I said, we're finally at the point 2 years in, but we're finally at the point where we actually can sell this stuff, right? We actually get it in the consumer's hands, let them get a taste of it. Trying to get in brick and mortar stores is a whole different it's a whole different beast within itself, but we are online. We're in 32 states, deliver right to your door. I say try it and you're gonna like it. You're gonna be a repeat. We want repeat customers. We want to produce a product that this is not a trophy to us, right? Like a lot of people are like, oh, you know, and this is, I'm gonna say this to my fraternity brothers as well. Like a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, this is my trophy, right? I'm gonna buy one bottle of Diggs Boys, put it on my shelf, let everybody see it. No, this is a good whiskey. If you like whiskey, you're gonna want to drink it. You know what I'm saying? So
most of us consume, so
Correct.
it's not a trophy to us.
Right, exactly.
Now most of us are straight up alcoholics.
I don't go that far, but you know what I mean, like the sip.
So double up on them, Mike. Go ahead and continue with what Ern was saying, as far as like, you know, the branding of it and the becoming of Diggs Boys.
Well, where Ern was kind of steering to, in that process, one of the big things that we wanted to do was have something that also tastes good, but also look good.
Right.
We wanted to give a quality product that when you seen it on the shelf, he was like, I have to try that.
Definitely, the packaging
the packaging is perfect on that. So we worked with a couple different designers. We came up with the logos, the front labels, and we learned a lot, you know, through that process. The big thing, a little quick story, is about the box. So you don't see too many bourbons in boxes, right? True. So when you go down the aisle, that's more like a Scotch thing, right? Mm-hmm. So I think I came up with the idea. I designed the box. We wanted the box to kind of represent African American culture and the Harlem Renaissance.
Wow. How'd you come up with that?
Okay.
Well, I mean, when you talk about a story, right? When you talk about an African American brand, we wanted whiskey that reflect a great time in our lives and our culture as African Americans. And the first thing that always comes to my mind is Harlem Renaissance,
Right.
That culture where when you was dressed up, you was fly, you went out. If you was in the 30s and the 40s, if you went to a speakeasy, that's what you would see behind the bar.
Right.
So that's where you get a lot of the Harlem Renaissance nuances in the design and the bottle. So we had the box, and I presented the box to them, and it was a back and forth about whether he was going to use.
I wonder which one was back and forth.
Mike did nice. It was kind of like a gang war.
So they go.
I mean, listen, you gotta understand. So, and I like to say, I'm not going. So we bootstrapped this thing, right? To this point, right? Haven't really. We're at the point where we're now taking investors, try to seat at the table. But to get to this point, this is straight out of our pocketbooks. You know what I'm saying? Not pocketbooks, but pocket wallets. Whatever you want to say.
Wives are involved, though, right? Wives are involved. Wives are involved.
So, like, we're funding this thing, and we're counting every dollar, every cent, every nickel. Pricing comes up. Mike comes up with the box. I'm totally against the box. I'm like, we don't need.
Yeah, of course.
Listen, we don't need no box. Like, we don't like care about no box and whiskey. Like, it's like it don't make sense, Mike. Like, all we doing is add into our raw goods, right? We add into the cost of our raw goods. Like, no, this is not a selling point. Like, people in my mind, I'm like, again, you got to understand. Like, I'm coming from a point where I at this point, I think I'm very well educated on whiskey. But at that, like 2 years ago, I go get my bottles of Maker's Mark, and that's what I do. That's what I love, and keep it moving. So I'm like, no, we going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And the difference is, like, so me, Mike, and Howard, we're brothers, so we were already friends before this. So it's not like you're going into business with somebody you don't know. So these are intense arguments, right? Like,
I got a question, though. Let me stop you. No. What was the wife saying? What was your wife saying? What was Howard's wife saying? Did your wife have your back, or was everyone?
Yeah, I mean, once again, like Aaron said, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been in real estate for a while and a couple other businesses. So my wife was just like, look, just don't lose the house.
Damn.
But
Don't lose the house, right?
Don't lose the house, right? So, but no, you know what's funny, to answer your question. I'm gonna let Aaron get back to the box story. They all three of our wives are very, very, very supportive, and this endeavor. They actually just took us to Kentucky.
Touch on
Wow.
About a month or so ago. So they're very supportive. They always try to jump in and put their own flavor and their own ideas on everything. So shout out to our wives and
shout out
too. So.
And just let everyone know, on the radio, I did my Here We Go. Vote Master Flex used to do the bomb. This is Goose's. Here we go. So the fact that I'm doing this, if you guys are talking, you hear this? That means snaps up, whatever the case may be. All right, Ern, throwing it back to you.
Yeah. So again, we're going intense arguments about this box. Mike was like, all right, we're doing. I think you paid for the sample yourself, because I was like, not doing the box, right?
So you said, I'm not paying for this, and you walked out the house. I already know.
So I think Mike paid for the box itself. The box comes in. Mike had an event. We all come over there. And he's like, yo, there's a box. And I look at it.
It's hot.
Yeah,
no choice. Yeah, no choice.
You gotta eat your words. Like, so what you think? I'm like, it's all right. I mean, we still don't need it though. I mean, we now that you got it, we might as well.
Go with it at this point.
But it was fire. The box. I love the box. I love the design of the box. Mike, he did his thing, and this was like, again, because we were going back and forth about it. Like, that ain't really no input but Mike, so I gotta give shout out to him on that.
But the gold lettering with the little bit of the crimson outline with it, that's fire.
Yeah,
Justin, shout out to Justin, our producer. Justin, I need videos up front of Diggs Boys logos. We need everything. We need Pittsburgh Steelers stuff, because the distillery is in Pittsburgh. So Mike, if you want to talk about the distillery, but Justin, if you can come in over here again and get close up to all that, Justin, I greatly appreciate it. Mike, go ahead. Talk about the movement of it in 2022.
Okay. Well, basically, this year when we was going through this process, our attorney, shout out to them, and our attorney team in Pittsburgh. They actually had a distillery there that they wasn't using primarily to distill.
Wow.
So they offered us the opportunity to sign a lease to use their distillery so that we can apply for our Pennsylvania distillery license. And the benefit of that is that now we can go into Pennsylvania liquor stores under the Made in Pennsylvania brand. And as far as distribution goes, we weren't even thinking about Pennsylvania for at least another year or so, because it's so hard to get into Pennsylvania liquor store because it's a controlled state.
Right.
So that kind of forced us into thinking about coming to Pennsylvania sooner. And shout out to our Pennsylvania distributor, Breakthrough Beverage, who was kind of leading the way on that. So hopefully we'll be in Pennsylvania liquor stores soon. But that was a great move. It's roughly around 5,500 square feet, complete bottling line, offices. You know, it's definitely a good move for us.
So wait. Ern has his own office?
He can.
I'm about to have
Ern
my
ain't
own
going up there.
floor.
You gonna have your own floor?
My own floor. Now, so just to retroactively talk about Mike, so we have the distillery in Pittsburgh now, but before that, we were contracting through Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
So another couple funny stories. So get product. Now, guess what? It's time to put these products in these bottles and label these bottles and seal these bottles. So we fly off to Florida. Me, Mike, Howard, he down there, and you don't realize how much work this really is until you do it, right? So we talking 1,500 bottles. Oh, in our mind, it's gonna be a 2 day thing,
right?
And then we go and experience. South Florida, whatever.
Right.
Go down there, man. The distillery we working out of, they ain't got no AC. We in this joint sweating. We got to buy change of clothes from Walmart to bring us. That's how hot it is.
Did an argument break out?
Oh, a couple arguments. It was one of those things. It was like
it was the essence with no arguments, you know.
It was like, bro, how many breaks you fit in? It's like your fourth break. So we wake up. We bottle on Friday. We wake up Saturday. We get ready to bottle again. So me and Howard wake up and we're like, yo, let's go get something to eat. Mike like, no, fuck it, y'all should have ate last night. Like, what?
Damn. So let me ask you, what did Howard go over? So with you guys as strong personalities, he gets the brunt of all the arguments, right? Like
Howard holds his own. I will say
he does. But does he go up toe to toe more with you or with Mike?
Them two.
Yeah, it's more me. But it's mostly me arguing with everybody.
Of course.
That's
about right. That's all right.
No, Howard. Shout out to Howard. AAA. What year did Howard go over, Mike?
2004. Okay.
Yeah. So that he's
really don't matter.
Howard.
I know you pull deference whenever you need to.
Howard, that's my young boy, and I'm the boss, and you shut up and buy it.
So Howard he's actually been in the still spirits game for a long time in terms of his personal job and what he does for a living, right? So he has a fundamental knowledge of marketing, so forth and so on. So he brings what he brings to the table is invaluable to what we do, right? Like a lot of times, like he knows, a lot of things we don't know. I'm telling you right now. And the best thing about us is we realize we don't know a lot of things. But one thing we're going to do is we're going to find out, right? You know what I'm saying? No matter what it takes, we're going to figure out what needs to be done so that we can do it, right? Even if that, and like I said, a lot of times it's pay to play, right? A lot of times starting up, we paying for this knowledge, but now we got it. We don't need you no more.
Right.
You know
I understand.
So Howard a lot of times has those connections, like, yo, my man, he did this and this and this and this. Boom, boom, let's talk to him. Boom. So, I mean, shout out to Howard. He's mad at me because he wanted to be here. You know what I'm saying? He was like, tell Flo do it at Sunday night.
I apologize. Howard, I apologize. I know that you pledged in 2004, but I apologize, good brother. Happy Founders Day to you. But we still here enjoying, the fruits and labors of your awesome bourbon, man. Shout out to you, Howard.
Yeah.
Mike,
what's up?
What else about Diggs Boys do we need to know in your bourbon, man?
It's pretty much a labor of love. We put a lot of love and a lot of energy into this product. And with that, we got some more stuff coming for you.
Nice.
Like that. We have a rye whiskey.
Real quick, don't buy that. And when we have meetings, you
Yes, I'm
I-
definitely.
You gotta keep the morale up, baby. Here we go. Y'all know you gotta keep it up. You can never go down. And I think I'm drunk. I'm a little drunk.
Right. But yeah. So what we want to do, it's Diggs Boy LLC is just more than just this one brand. We plan on bringing a whole host of brands. Right now, like I said, we got the rye whiskey that's about to go into production soon. We also are going to be looking at doing a wine line.
Wow.
Tequila.
Yes.
And vodka.
Nice.
So, but once again, just like Ernest said, we had to pay to play to get started. And now that we have that education, now all we have to do is just go into producing these brands. So it's going to be a fun ride. So we definitely is another thing. Just like Ernest said earlier, there's not a lot of African American representation in the spirits world at all. I think it's less than 1%. So we actually want to bring a business to the table where we're just not a one-trick pony.
Okay.
We want to show all these other brands and companies that we're here to stay and we're producing quality products for everyone to enjoy.
Okay.
So that's the biggest thing about Diggs Boys.
Now, one thing I want to do, man, before we end this podcast, I kind of want to do a Diggs Boys hot seat. We're going to start with Gary because he is the youngest, and then we'll go around. So we'll go from Gary to Solo to myself to Andre. And we'll keep going around. So any other questions, Gary, that you want to ask about Diggs Boy, anything, you're going to ask the two owners, all right?
All right.
On your marks, get set, go.
Real quick, let me ask you one question. So I heard that y'all were distilling this in a bathtub in the backyard over a fire.
I heard the same thing.
That y'all were doing this thing back in the day way, that y'all had somebody running this across state lines doing some good stuff. Now, is there any truth to that?
So I'm gonna say I don't know if you've met our significant others, but that ain't happening. like Mike said, they pretty much run the households, and if somebody pulled up with a bathtub and a fire, they pretty much
It wasn't no moonshine going on, right? No,
but no. So I mean, if that's what it had to be, that's what it had to been. But I mean, so when we started out, we were in contract talks with a contract distillery, right? And they just the pandemic literally shut them down. They're out of business now, right? So we figured, I mean, a lot of people, when your lifeline has been extinguished, a lot of people just fade, right? We kept pushing. We didn't find new contract distilleries because that industry kind of went under.
Everybody was making hand sanitizer.
Right.
Okay.
So I mean, one thing we can say, so our product is made by one of the biggest distilleries in the world, right? Mm-hmm. The distillery that makes our product makes bourbons for Angel's Envy. Okay. Like I'm talking about all the quality products. That's the same people that make our stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And a small company, when you funding yourself, a lot of people wouldn't do that. A lot of people wouldn't go those limits, right? To say, all right, let's talk to MGP or where we're at, right? A lot of people wouldn't think that's a logical thing to do because of the cost. You know what I'm saying? But one thing we work well together, and we politicked it, and we got it done. So not made in the bathroom. I mean, in the backyard. But that's where the brainstorming happened in the back. Well, mostly in Mike's basement.
But no, real question is though, how are you casting this? What mode? How are you creating this? How long are you aging it, etc.?
Well, basically, just like all bourbons, it has to go into American New White Oak Barrel. Mm-hmm. That's a level 4 char for 4 years. Okay. So this is a 4-year bourbon. Howard is pushing for us to do an 8 and a 10-year, so be prepared for that as well. But yeah, that's our casting now. Ern is his master scientist self over here.
Let me find out.
We're going to be doing some flankers where we're going to be doing it and different wine, sherry casts and stuff like that too. Okay. We're gonna have different finishes to go along with it as well.
Nice.
So
Solo.
Real quick. I mean, so also to touch on, so a lot of startup bourbons, right? Mm-hmm. So bourbon has to be aged for 4 years, right? Mm-hmm. Technically, it doesn't, right? You can age it for less, as long as you put an age
Age
statement
statement.
on it, right?
Gotcha.
So a lot of startups, what they'll do is they'll age their bourbon for a year and a half, 2 years, but they'll put that age statement on there really small. You can't see
the
it. You
print,
don't know.
the tiny
At the
print.
Our bourbon is aged 4 years,
Okay.
top to bottom, right? We don't got. It's not 2 years.
Mhm.
It's not 3 years. It's 4 years. It's
Okay.
legitimate bourbon, and that's something you don't see from a lot of startups.
Right.
Solo.
Okay, real quick. I mean, my question ain't gonna be as hard as Gary's or
Mhm.
anything. I noticed that you guys are wearing the fly, big boys hats, hoodies, and everything. It's just like, okay. My question is, you brought the bourbon to the market and everything. Where can we get some of the gear from for everybody that's out there? That may
Online, I
not-
think, right? Okay, I'm sorry.
Damn, that's the right. Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
what's
It's
that?
online.
Big Boys Bourbon. www.digsboys.net. So I can go there, grab whatever
you need.
what y'all got on right now. 'Cause I know you might be holding some stuff
No,
back.
well, no. So you gotta be
See,
careful.
see?
You said you gotta be careful. Why we gotta be careful?
Because Mike because he's the creative. He designs a lot of most of the shirts. So a lot of
That's what I'm saying.
He is exclusive.
Right.
Right.
I get it.
That's what
I
I'm
get
saying.
it. I get it.
Oh, so you said he's trying to get his money back.
No,
Yeah, he hold on to
He
it.
wants exclusive. I'm about, okay, everything else can go to the website.
Right.
This won't.
It's
Like,
not-
I'm like,
right.
It's like it's not pump up pass. It's pump up keep.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to say.
No, so what happens is
What
that,
happened was,
so sometimes, so the merchandise products for the merchandise is kind of a whole different experience when it comes down to being in business. That's something we came up with because at this point, we couldn't sell bourbon. We had to sell something else.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
So
Keep it coming in.
But it's just a marketing thing. So what I would do is I would just come up with different designs, and I'll try them out. And if it worked, it worked. If it didn't, it didn't. But to Ernest's point, they'd come over the house and show like, what y'all think about this? And so I do have a lot
Not
of
just the
stuff
house,
that's
because
not
Mike just walked in with a jacket that I ain't never seen.
No, Mike, hold on. I got you. Because no. Solo, I get a phone call one night, right? I see it's Ern. Now, just like Ern, I answered. It's like 11:30 at night, right? Like a Thursday night. Yo, Flo. What's up, Ern? What's going on with you, KO? What's up? Listen, I'm having a birthday party. You want to DJ? Man, no question. I don't care what's on my, you know what I mean? Whatever I'm gonna schedule, I'm gonna clear it, whatever. All right, where your party gonna be? Oh, I rented a yacht. What? You rented a yacht? You rented a yacht? Yeah, man. It's gonna be on the spirit of, you know what I mean? The yacht of such and such. It's gonna be about 100 of us winning. But this is the kicker. When I went on that jump and I started DJing, the wives, the silhouettes of Diggs Boys, they eat together, they drink together, they go to the bathroom together. They ain't playing. They ain't playing at all. They are in this, and it was a great thing to see. So before I ask my question, I want to give a shout out to the silhouettes and the owners and the wives of Diggs Boys. Congratulations to you, ladies. Continue to go and push on. I know great things are coming as far as the wine and everything else is coming out, but my question to you guys is, right, how can we get more product and hats, jackets, and the coat and jacket that, Mike has that we can't
You
get?
ain't getting the jacket.
Because, as a DJ, Andre the Giant, I would love, and I'll pay for it. But I would love to, be able to go on the website, get DJ Flow or Big Show on any of this stuff. It is hot. So shout out to all the other fraternities and sororities. Please go and support this. Support this. The bourbon is delicious. It is awesome. It's some of the best bourbon I've ever had before in my life.
I'm on glass too.
If you guys just try it, but
I'm waiting for my glass.
I guess I didn't really have a question, but Andre,
Yo,
go ahead. You got the next hot seat
man,
question.
I'm coming with the questions,
Yeah.
right? Dig Boys, man. I Mike, Ern, Howard, I love you guys' humbleness. Also love you guys.
It's not.
I love the fight. I love the fight. I love the dog in you. I love your fight. But in creating your brand at any time, what were some of the challenges that you guys faced?
It's a challenge every day. Just like Ern said, the contract distillery that we started off with went out of business. First of all, number one, it was COVID. So that was the first challenge. They went out of business. A lot of other distilleries and bottling companies wouldn't take our phone calls.
Wow.
A lot of them still won't take our
A
phone
lot of them
calls.
still won't take our phone calls. Some people locally here in Philadelphia. We were just reaching out, asking for help. hey, we got this bourbon. Can we just use your facilities after hours and just bottle the stuff? No, or they just wouldn't respond back. The legalities, what people don't understand is that the legal portion of having a distilled spirit is out of control. And I give Ern a shout out here is that navigating TTB and the spirits, every state has their own requirements for spirits, and he's been able to kind of navigate through that to kind of help us out. But so every day is a challenge. I remember one story, Pennsylvania Control Board. They wanted our product. We couldn't get it to them because of COVID.
Wow.
We just couldn't give it to them. So I was really ready to drive up to Harrisburg to drop off a bottle. We couldn't even drop off a bottle in Harrisburg. So it's just like every day is a new challenge of getting this stuff to market. And once again, it's been 2 years. We're finally able to sell online. So just go and get it.
At any time, with all the challenges that you guys wanted to throw the hat in and give up on this?
No.
I mean, so the answer is no, but the answer is also yes, right? Like, so the reason why we would never throw because we were together, right? Mm-hmm. We had each other to lean on, right? So it wasn't like even when we were struggling, it was fun, right? Mm-hmm. It was a fun struggle, right? Like we brainstorming together. Like if you doing this by yourself and you ain't got nobody, you don't got that support, that foundation, right. the wives, so forth and so on. Like you might be ready to throw in the towel, but we had each other, right? So like even if it was like the meeting start out like we ain't got this, we ain't got that, we can't get this, we can't get that. They said they not selling this, they not no more selling that. Right. Like it always transition because it's always going to come back to the brotherhood, right? And like being friends is that's going to be maintained first and foremost out of everything, right? Like that's you know what I'm saying. So while the question is like, yeah, sometimes it was like, yo, we don't got the money to do this. We don't got the money to do this the way we need to do it, right? A lot of people, most people, be like, all right, if you don't got the money, you shouldn't do it, right? But because we was doing it together, it was different. So I'm gonna say yes, but I'm also gonna say no. You know what I'm saying? Like it was never like we've hit as many roadblocks as any distilled spirits company is gonna hit. You know what I'm saying? And we got a couple more hurdles that we still ain't yet to clear. But one thing we know is like so we go the meeting gonna start like every meeting starts somebody got attitude, right?
I wonder what that is.
It's not just me, no, it's not. Most times it's Mike. Mike always comes with attitude.
High intense world that we all live in. So I typically start the meeting with an attitude, and then they correct me, and then we go from there to get the business done. That's how it should be. Right. And then we always end with jokes.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, like, it's a trust, though, right? So like, you go into business with people. If you go into business with people you don't trust, right? What ends up happening, I believe, because what I've seen is that like. Me and you go to business. We don't really know each other. We just got money and we gonna go to business together, right? So if I make a decision that causes angst, right? Now you point fingers like I told you should, right? Exactly. But the thing is, like, what I've learned is none of us know what we're doing, right? So it's a 75% chance that any decision we make is gonna be a fucked up decision. You know what I'm saying? But I trust the two people I work that I'm doing this with, and I know that they're not. That they're just as invested to get out of that issue as I am. You know exactly. So that's the difference.
So you guys talked about investment opportunities for investors. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Okay. Yeah. So a month or so ago, we teamed up with a company called Seat at the Table, which is a black-owned business funding company, and they have been outstanding on. Getting us through, once again, the federal regulations of raising money at the seed level. So we started that campaign about almost 30 days ago. It's been about 30 days. So we're now accepting investors for people that's not millionaires. Because one thing that we wanted to do is we wanted to give an opportunity to people who didn't necessarily wasn't rich. Like we wanted our brothers, our families, our friends, our frat to come along on this journey with us. Sure. So for as little as $300, you can be an owner of Diggs Boys LLC at Diggs Boys Brothers.
So let's talk about that investment.
Wait. We gonna wait. Go ahead, Andre. Andre, finish.
Can I say something real quick? So the reason why Mike put us in position to do this is because when we started this, when the idea first started floating, right? You know what happened, right? Everybody in my, why you ain't called me?
Yeah.
I want to get down too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's I understand because our network is our network. Like, there's a lot of people I love. Like Flo told that birthday story. He don't tell people. I actually called him on Thursday. The party was on Saturday. Like, yo, he did it. That's what I'm saying. Flo's he's been supporting Diggs Boys since day one,
Yes.
right? And I've always been trouble because like I never been able to like support his stuff with Diggs Boys the way I need to support it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we gonna get to that point.
Absolutely.
But it was like, yo, we want everybody to be involved, right? We want to turn our network, our family into, like I say this all the time. What I want with the investment thing is we want to turn every member of Cab Outside, every person that supports Black into our brand ambassador, right? Buy in. You put your seat at the table the same way we put our seat at the table. You know what I'm saying? Help us sell this product. You know what I'm saying? Because if we win, everybody
wins.
Right.
So what you're saying? It's a village. It takes a village,
It takes a village.
and that's what we've all grown up on.
Right.
Yeah.
When we were young, we all grew up on the village.
Right.
We knew that when you walked down the street and you did something wrong, Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so grabbed you up, pulled you by the hair, and got you right. So I think at the end of the day, we all want to be part of it in some form or fashion. So I appreciate what you guys are doing. Not to take away from what y'all saying. I remember Mike hit me up on the text, yo, G, we thinking about doing this bourbon. And I said, oh, that's smooth. I said, what y'all doing? So he ran down some of the details of what was going on. I was like, yo, I'm in. So when can I get mine?
Right.
I said, I'm down with 2 bottles.
Hit me on the deal.
Exactly.
I'm very supportive of the product. Like I said, Mike, I need my 12 bottles. But also being Black owned, our color Black owned. I wish you guys much success.
Thank you.
And I'm looking for an opportunity to be a part of that investment partnership with you guys.
No doubt.
Shout out to Diggs Boys. Much success.
Thank you.
I'm gonna ask y'all one quick question.
Go ahead.
People coming.
What is Diggs? So there's a lot of people that don't understand what Diggs Boys is. So I
sugar
think
honey
we gotta-
iced tea.
I think we gotta dig in a little deep to
Here we go,
what Diggs
Goose.
Boys is.
So here's the thing. So Diggs it's gonna mean different things to different people. So I speak to it for what it is. So for us, it's somebody that we give reverence to, right? Like we understand what he's done for our fraternity, right? So it's like we look at Diggs as like he's not your father, but he is a father figure, right? Like he instilled, he listed out principles that you want to carry your life with, right? So in that essence, we are all Diggs boys. We're his boys, right? But everybody has a Diggs, right? Like it might not be Elder Watson Diggs, right? If you're a Q or you're a Sigma or you're
We don't talk about them, but go ahead.
I'm saying they have somebody of the same ilk, right?
Yeah.
So Diggs Boys to us is we're children of great people, right? That's what it means, right? Like so, like we're taking that legacy back, right? Like the legacy of these great people that's been that's been forgotten, right? That people don't put enough say so in. We're taking that back and we're going to put those people back onto the forefront. So for us, the person we put back onto the forefront was Diggs. But for somebody else, it might say, so you might not be a Diggs boy, but you're somebody's, you know what I'm saying? So
A product of somebody's.
it represents your legacy, your structure, where you came from, and the principles that you hold near and dear to yourself.
And it's also the reason why we got through the Golden Shores. It's also the reason why we got past the Burning Sands. It is a reason, along with your Line Brothers and your chapter and everything else, that Diggs inside of you is the reason why you pushed through and you went over and you made it. Correct?
Right.
Absolutely.
So, and also the piggyback on what Ernest said is that our brands going forward will always have that representation of people that means a lot to us in the fraternity and or the culture and just in our lives, right? So we talked about the silhouettes a lot. So the wine brand is called Silhouette.
Get out of here.
Oh my
Stop
God.
playing.
No.
So bro, what is silhouette?
Huh?
People need to understand.
That's
man.
crazy.
So in the fraternity sense,
That's crazy.
a silhouette is the wife of a captain. So our wine brand is called Silhouette because what better partner do a Diggs boy be in a nice silhouette?
That's right.
So you will see that ongoing in our brands going forward. All of our brands are going to represent people in our lives that we pay homage to.
People that deserve the respect and reverence that everybody else get. Like people, like all these products we buy in life, right? 95% of the big products are they people. People don't understand. Like you look at shit like, oh, this is a product. No, Versace's a name, right? That's a name. That's a person. Jack Daniels is a person.
Exactly.
Right?
Polo,
Ralph Lauren, that's a person. Procter & Gamble. So yes, we're going to represent the people that we feel are important. Right? We're going to put forth the people that we feel deserve that reverence in the forefront instead of I'm done. We're done as Black people. We got to get to a point where we're done just supporting other people just for the sake of supporting it, right? Everything that gets a cost and an affluence attached to it, it don't matter, right? Because it's all the same product, right? Like I said, our product came from the same place. Angels Envy and so forth. All those other products came from. It's the same. It's not the same juice, but it's the same people that make it, right? It's the same quality, right? But ours is Black owned, right? And it's not. I'm never gonna be ashamed of that, right? A lot of people will look at it like, oh, don't think like you're gonna jump to the forefront because y'all Black owned and you're gonna get all the support of Black people. You know what I'm saying? But no, that's fine. If people don't want to support us, don't support us. We're gonna keep pushing on no matter what. But we never gonna be ashamed that we're Black owned, and we're never gonna be ashamed that we are pushing people that we love, like as Mike said, to the forefront. So
you're talking about community, and you're talking about culture.
Yes.
That's what I keep hearing.
Global
community and culture. Right.
Global.
So you guys said you guys are in 32 states.
yes,
Are you guys in Texas?
Yes.
That's not a state. That's a different thing. Texas is
That's-
a whole different thing, bro. Trust me.
But we in Texas, right? Hey, I'm part of that investment.
listen, I'll say this. As I said, we're in 32 states today.
Right.
He might be in 34 states tomorrow.
Right.
Exactly.
He might be in 38 states next week. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Well, I need to sign up for that investment today because we
No,
might be in 40 states.
you
tomorrow.
go to a seat at the table. Look up the
.com.
Diggs Boy, seatathetable.com. Look up the Diggs Boys investment link. Our dossier and all that stuff is on there. You can see our numbers, what we project, how we look to expand our business going forward. And for like the minimum is $300. $300 you can buy in. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know the logistics of how that translates. That's Mike's department. But we listen, we understand like if we gonna keep pushing it, like it's not gonna be me, Mike, and Howard saying every time we can't do that. Like and nobody does that, right? So we're at that stage. We are looking for investments. And if you listen, you can call me. I'm listed. You know what I'm saying? You got any questions? Listen.
I mean, it's easy for us. We can reach out and touch y'all.
I'm talking about. Here's the thing. I get it. I love my frat brothers and to the end.
The hardest on each
to the
other.
hardest.
Yeah.
But listen, I want people
That's
to
okay.
understand this ain't just a fraternity brand.
I understand.
Right?
No.
This is for everybody. This is
Right,
global.
yeah,
We want to take this thing international, right? So anybody that's listening, that's watching this podcast, if you see something you like and you say, "Oh, I want to know more," guess what? Look us up. We'll answer the call. Like we while we're not, I ain't gonna say humble because we got egos like everybody else, but like when it comes to this, I'm available. You know what I'm saying? Mike's available.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Call, ask your questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. You know what I'm saying? And if I ain't got the answers, I might ignore you for a little bit, but then I'll get you the answer. You know what I'm saying? Until I get the answer.
But it's important thing to everything that you're saying is y'all are vested because your name's attached to it.
Right.
And the most important thing is to have your name attached to something and it's a quality product because you don't ever want your name to be in a negative light.
Right.
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 Period.
Right.
So whether it's Diggs Boys or Flo's DJing and Andre the Giant, his name and his products and what he does and everything, you always want to have a positive representation behind your name.
Right.
Period.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. One of the things I hear you guys talk about is your partners, and that's very important, is to have your wives involved with you and supporting you guys. And that goes a long way. Goes a long way, man. I love the design of the box. I love the bottle. For this bottle here online, what's the cost of this bottle here online?
Online, that bottle is $69.
Okay.
plus shipping.
Plus
So,
shipping.
and the more bottles you buy, the less shipping you pay. So buy more.
Buy more.
Buy more. Because there's only one shipping fee at that point.
Buy more.
There's only one shipping fee.
At this time, Andre, along with Gary and Solo, I want everyone to clap it up right now. Clap it up. Big shout out to the Dig Boys. You guys can go and get it right now. www.digsboys.net. Get your apparel, get your bottles, support these brothers at Kappa Alpha Psi. It is the global, one of the best bourbons in the world. We're right here at Goose's studio. We're going to pass the bottles around so everyone in the studio can taste it. Thanks out to Goose. Thanks out to the Diggs Boys. Ern, along with Mike on the Howard. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys on the other side. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys on the other side, all right? Yeah.
All right.
Hey!
Diggs Boys.
Diggs Boys, baby.